Today I fucked up by powdering my husband's balls. Obligatory. This happened a few weeks ago. My husband and I have been together for 13 years. I have no idea how this started really, but I've been powdering and rubbing his balls for years now. It is just something that we do. It's weirdly comforting and puts us both to sleep. Plus, who doesn't like freshly powdered balls instead of gross swamp balls? Not to mention the wonders it does for chafing. Anyway, one day I can't find the powder for our 2-year-olds, but no biggie. I go to the store to get more, but I figured I could get man powder too. A nice smelling one that just smells like man. Not the after work gross man smell. This is what we are trying to get rid of, my dudes. So I get a new powder for him and just regular old Johnson's for the baby. It'll be a nice surprise for when he comes home since he's been working out of town. Here's my fuck up. I did not read the label properly. I saw that it said absorbing, cooling, refreshing. I saw that it said odor plus wetness control, and just thought of how awesome it would be for him to not have swamp balls. Being a bit of an airhead, it did not occur to me to read further into that. So fast forward a few days later to when husband finally comes home from working out of town. Night rolls around and we're in bed. My husband asks for powder and ball rubs. After a full week, without his wife to powder his balls for him, I say no prob. I got you. Boo. I bust out the new Men's Essentials man powder. It smells good. I dig it. I turn around to put it away and he asks me what I put on him. I turn back to him and can see he's clearly uncomfortable. I look at the label and see that the cooling effect comes from menthol. Now, I feel awful at this point, but honestly, I can't stop laughing. He's complaining it's like icy hot, so I tell him to take a shower and see if that works. He hops in the shower and washes his balls. Nope. He is still feeling it. I'm still laughing at my poor husband's predicament that I created by trying to buy him something new for his balls. I ended up using the Johnson's on him, but he was still uncomfortable. I felt pretty bad about it, despite laughing like a hyena the entire time. That night he said I should post this here, but I wanted to surprise him, so I've waited. I do still powder his balls when he's home. I am going to stick with Johnson's baby powder though. Babe, if you are reading this, I am very sorry for causing your balls discomfort, but it was so damn funny. I love you. Sorry for being an airhead sometimes. Too long didn't read. Today I fucked up by powdering my husband's balls with powder that made him feel like he had icy hot on his balls. Update: first of all, those of you who awarded my weird and wholesome post are the real MVPs here. I humbly thank you. When I made this post, I had no idea it would blow up like this. Made my day reading most of these comments, but then again the comments are usually where it's at. Some of you really need to broaden your horizons and just caress those balls because they need love too. My husband does manual labor, so yes, he gets sweaty balls. He showers and asks for powder. I have had his penis in me, had his children. I really don't think touching his balls is that far out there. And you all have opened my eyes and educated me on the dangers of talcum powders. I have been looking at new things to try instead of J&J baby powder. I thank you for that, and I'm sure my husband's balls will too. Next time I'm going to the toilet, I'll excuse myself by saying I need to powder my balls. Cheap water-based lube like Astroglide can neutralize that menthol burn you get from icy hot and the like. No reason I'd know that. None at all. Ha. As a long-time Gold Bond fan, I made the mistake of buying the green container once. The normal container is yellow, the green one is menthol. Shower only makes it worse. I feel for the man. It's definitely not a fun experience. Did the same thing. Green bottle on the balls. You ever get so cold your toes hurt? It was like that, but my balls. I slept with a hand warmer between my legs. Hold up, can we just throw it back to the point where you said you powder your man's balls for him? This is what they must mean by relationship goals AF. I don't powder my man's balls, but I do massage them. Stopped for a few days after somehow making his ball change places. How to explain? Till ball powdering is a thing. Edit. Well, this is now my most upvoted comment by far. Of course it's about ball powdering. Today I fucked up by giving my hubby a BJ during sex. Obligatory happened yesterday, and not my main account. Too long didn't read, at the bottom. Yesterday, the hubby and I were getting ready for some private time, and we started by watching some online entertainment with a couple of drinks and a little recreational smoking. While warming up, he'd already made me happy 3 times, and I decided it was time to turn things his way, and slid down his boxers. After a couple of minutes of concentration, I decided to mix it up a little by getting my mouth cold with the mixed drink on the coffee table. After downing a bit of the drink and some ice, I went back to work, with the expected results from him of gasping and some moans of pleasure. My mouth warmed up, so I went back for another drink, this time keeping some of it in my mouth, and went back to work. After another couple of minutes, with him getting a bit more active under me, he slid me off, and told me to go to the bedroom, and that he needed to hit the bathroom, and would be right there. I started preparing the bed, removing pillows, etc., when he stepped back to the door of the bedroom, wincing, and said that we probably wouldn't be able to continue, winced again, almost doubled over, and headed back to the bathroom. I followed in a bit of panic, but he told me that there was nothing I could do to help, he was just burning a lot. As he chuckled through, "Doctor, it burns when I pee." He gave a sudden gasp. "Shit, the lime." After a quick second, I knew exactly what he meant. The drinks we'd had were basically limeade with vodka, and I assumed that the vodka was burning after he'd shaved. He replied, "Nope. But when you did that the second time, you had some in your mouth, right? That worked its way inside while you were working, and it's burning like hell." Quick thinking on my part, got a cup of warm water with a ton of baking soda to counter the acid, and my sweetie spent the next 5 minutes standing in the shower with his slowly deflating member sunk to the hilt in a cup of baking soda and water. It finally stopped really burning about 30 minutes later, and we've agreed that while the cool sensation was fun, it's only to be done with ice water from now on. Too long didn't read, gave my hubby a blowjob with a mouthful of vodka limeade, and the lime worked its inside, burning him for about 30 minutes. Am I the only one thinks anything besides water is a no-go around your genitals? Obviously lube, soap, etc. But sugary sodas and juices? No thanks lol. Husband with burning limp dick in a cup of baking soda. So, are you still in the mood? You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? I once had a girl say she wanted to do pop rocks off my dick, and I thought she meant a line of cocaine, but instead she meant actual pop rocks, and one of the rocks got into my pee hole and started popping when it mixed with the pre-cum, and it was the weirdest, painful, most fucked up thing I've ever felt. Kinda wish I could unread that tbh, smiley face, smiley face. I had a GF in high school that used to do that with Sprite, and it was great, but I'd never let that happen with vodka. Alcohol plus pee hole just screams disaster. Jesus Christ, that just sounds like a UTI waiting to happen. I think it is the alcohol rather than the lime causing the problem. I had a friend have someone drink a shot of liquor out of his foreskin, and it backfired almost exactly like this. Shot of liquor out of his what now? Today I fucked up by getting my 8-year-old cousin drunk. I, 24 meters, recently come back home from a trip out of town where I tried the Jamaican rum, Ray and nephew, for the first time. Eager to share it with my cousin, 40 meters, on the way home I stopped at Sonic for slushes. He has 2 kids, 8 meters and amp, 6 meters, and I always get them something when I come home, and I wanted a chaser for the rum. 4 large slushes later, I make it to the house and they are playing board games. I poured the rum in 2 of the slushes and set them to the side so I could use the bathroom. When I came back, only one of the set aside slushes was there. We start playing board games and I ask my older cousin how he is liking the drink. He keeps saying it's really good and that he barely could taste the alcohol. I start thinking to myself like he's crazy because I'm feeling it. Tell me why my 8-year-old cousin started giving off the same vibes as me. We play this game called Sequence where you have to place a chip on a board that matches a card you pick from your hand. The 8-year-old was missing the whole board and dropping his token on the floor. All of a sudden he would get angry when he lost, when he's the type to let his little brother win. It finally hit me and I checked his drink. Let's just say he had the best sleep of his life that night and doesn't even know why. Too long didn't read. I brought home drinks for my family and I poured alcohol in a couple of them, not thinking my cousins would grab the wrong one. I mean, my friend's sister had the habit of finishing off the little bit of pop in cans before she would throw them away. One night their dad had some buddies over for some after work beers. The sister, age about 3, would go around finishing off the beer cans and throwing them away. She got completely trashed. That's a vile habit, haha. On New Year's Eve when I was 4 or 5 I drank what I thought was a very small glass of tea. Turned out to be a shot glass of Fireball. I remember running to the bathroom yelling for water as the adults were momentarily confused, then began laughing hysterically when they realized what had happened. My mom got me a glass of water and quickly calmed me down. I did sleep very well that night. 40 plus years have gone by and I still remember that burn quite well, but it really was kind of funny. Careful where you put your alcohol. There is a bunch of crazies in this thread. It's not like the kid drank a bottle of rum. Calm the F down. Gee, I've already spent 5 years on Reddit. Thanks y'all. I love how the American crowd reading this is all that's so neglectful. Get that kid a stomach pump and the European crowd are just like well, no biggie. In no way am I saying it's a good thing to get an 8-year-old drunk, but it was an accident. It definitely won't happen again, and I really don't think anything bad will come of it. It is what it is. All we can do is learn from our mistakes. Is this a decent rum? If it is, the most today I fucked up part of the story is that you're poured into slushes from Sonic. And Nephew is an overproof rum. It's not really nice, it's just strong. Like really strong. I've worked in bars and restaurants for years and normally it's used for setting on fire on top of a cocktail.